Testing.
Hola.
Yo,
Still ain't
hey.
started, but y'all can just talk out.
All right,
So,
we
ladies,
definitely-
how was y'all's week? How was y'all's weekend, shall I say?
Start.
If you're thinking of switching to FreshBooks, think about this. 94% of customers who make the
My
move
daddy's
say it's
birthday.
easy.
So we had a party Friday.
I had an interesting weekend.
What
You
was
sure
interesting?
did. I'm glad I don't talk to you. Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about
We
it.
ain't gonna talk about my
She had a long weekend.
We good on sound,
I
y'all.
can cover up for her
Yeah.
weekend. I can vouch for her weekend.
Yeah.
She was with me.
I didn't have my
Through
baby
spirit.
this weekend.
Yeah, no, I was really there.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, that was on her. I know, but I can't see. I don't know if it's because I'm Facebook illiterate or save post. I'm supposed to say.
Look at this crazy ass shit. Look at this dude. He's hid.
Hey y'all,
He's
what's
drag
up?
ready. That's embarrassing.
Welcome
That's mental disease. That's mental health.
Going live doing his drag.
Okay, so before we get started, what do y'all feel about this? Man, you know, and I ain't even gonna.
We definitely gotta do a contribute to DMX though.
For
Yes.
sure. Rest in power.
Man. He was
For sure.
So y'all, if y'all are viewing, say something because I can't see who's on her.
See, I want to go live from my page,
Just
but
tell
it's
him
just
share
up, like, close in my face.
And
It's
share
still
it,
on
please.
YouTube on here. Well, that's YouTube right there.
My
Me
group.
too, y'all.
This is on
Okay,
YouTube. We about to get it sorted.
Yeah, because on the computer, I think it's, yeah.
Just create.
Bless you. Go get some tissue. Bless you. Go get some tissue. Go wash your hands.
There's tissue back there.
My homegirl Myra says, "Hi, ladies. Positive vibes and new beginnings. All 2021. Yes, honey. That's how we gonna do it.
Hey, hey.
Yes, yes. Thank you for stopping by.
Y'all, the world is going mad. The
Mad.
world is going mad.
I don't want to.
We got men twerking on the devil
What?
in stiletto heels, slide down poles
Jesus.
with lace fronts and baby hairs gel down,
Will.
swirls in it.
I missed that.
Lil Nas X.
Yeah. Just gotta guard your eyes and your ears.
But it's like people try to rebel, but they rebel the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you trying to express yourself, but no matter how you do it, it's still not positive. I mean,
You just got
You're
a lot of
selfish.
ignorant
You're
people out
selfish.
here.
it's about self nowadays.
It's a spiritual warfare going on. Really, it's not. I don't believe that it's really against the flesh, and that's why a lot of people are so lost because they are going against themselves. They're going against the spirit. And whenever you fake, you can't fake it till you make it.
Too.
It hurts,
You do.
you know.
You gotta be who you are.
Because yeah, as long as you fight as long as you fight that, it's gonna be a mental battle.
My bad, y'all. I ain't mean to do that. That was an accident. But yeah, for sure. The spiritual warfare.
Yeah.
But in this spiritual battle, you know what I'm saying, it does say the man who gains much wisdom gains much sorrow. But it also says we need to at least enjoy life. What's the point? So, shoot, find the good in it.
Yeah.
We only got one.
Because the riches are meaningless.
I try not to entertain people's energy, especially when it's not.
But when you see how it influences, other people, how people are so impressionable, it's like, okay, wait a minute. You doing too much. And you're leading another realm of people to follow and being lost in confusion.
I agree.
To create an original, I need the original.
You got some people out here like that that'll follow ignorant people.
The original Velcro
It's
brand
not a- I don't
fastener
agree that
inspires
it's
art's
so-
original thinking.
I think it's more of you just
Where will
trying
original
to fit in instead of being who you are.
Yeah, and then I also feel like, being a product of your environment is something that's serious. So if you are never around anyone positive or successful, or if you never saw anyone love your parents or love your mother, you've never seen any of that, you don't know. If you have to live in survival mode from a childhood when you don't know how to relax. So um, it does get deep. And then you do have just the pure ignorant people, but it's so many factors into the shit. It's like, and it's actually kind of sad because if everyone like stuck together in a sense, it would be a better place.
Do you think if we still lived in our native lands that, you know, the type of darkness that we face within the black community, do you think we would be facing that?
Yeah.
Robbing
I don't.
and killing each other.
If we were still in our native lands, I don't, because we would be living, with culture. America doesn't have a culture. America just has a tradition. It done picked up bits and pieces of everyone else's culture, but America, So I think it would be. It's gonna be murder, but I don't think it would be like this.
It probably wouldn't be so.
Because America was built to
violent.
It was built to turn us against each other anyway. But as long as you, honey,
I wonder if we are able
speak
to
your truth,
right.
make a difference.
Yes.
Hey Maya, thank you.
I want some
Good
to eat
vibes.
tonight.
Yes, good
when I
vibes.
leave
Good
her.
vibes.
want
Good
something
wine. Good vibes.
Good to eat when I leave her.
Wow.
Something very good, satisfying to my soul.
I had some swayfish, whatever it's called, Friday and catfish.
You're online searching for tight beats, and that's a huge mistake. Let me explain. This is a platinum plaque I just got in the mail for producing for G-Eazy. As you can see, K on the track, 1 million sold, RA certified, and blah, blah, blah. But here's the question. When he was creating his album, do you think he went on Google and YouTube and typed in tight beats? No. You know why? Because he didn't want to get sued. Yes, you heard that correctly. You can be sued. It doesn't matter what level artist you are. Let me explain. When you download these tight beats, they don't come with contracts and agreements. Therefore, you don't have any exclusive ownership to the track. The second problem is thousands of artists are using that
I know
same
a lot
tight
of
beat
people
because it's just floating
on
online.
Passport.
Now, to solve this problem today, I'm
Black
gonna give
people,
you
I
30
encourage you all
platinum
to
tight
find a black
beats.
doctor.
The same style you was just searching for online, I'm giving you 30 of those. Fully mixed, fully mastered, and fully sequenced and ready to go. Now, a little bit about me. I have over 30 Billboard hits and a Grammy nomination, which means the tracks that I'm giving you are going to be high-level production. My main goal is to help independent artists like yourself become platinum artists, and that all starts with the production. So listen, if you're an unsigned artist watching this and you want 30 platinum beats, then click the link below and let's make some hits
To
together.
change my 501 base because it was making me sad. It was making me hate people, and yeah, it was crazy.
So what's the statistics?
So, as of now, there are active cases. There's 23 million.
Ready to turn the camera on now.
Out of that 23 million, 100,000 are in critical or serious condition. Overall, let's see. Overall, in the whole world, there has been 136 million cases. And out of those cases, there's been 2 million deaths. Boom.
That's sad because I know a lot of people that have fought it. I know some people that have passed from it.
I've had friends that had it.
Is in the hospital going for
I had family.
Did you all know that by the time this pandemic is over, that I think maybe 19% of the population will have respiratory issues worse off because they made more money with the mask, keeping people sick.
I know that I've had respiratory issues since I was born.
The mask
Like,
doesn't make it any better.
no, it doesn't. I don't like wearing a mask, honestly. I'm like, I'm her. I'm for whatever, because disease is going to happen. Like, if you read the Bible, it's just a lot of stuff. Like, a lot of things is deeper than this government. People put so much faith in that, but there's something higher than the government.
It definitely is.
It's an order.
And this disease is a dis-ease of the body. So everything that we were put in with, we could survive. Dis-ease is a dis-ease of the body. So you can heal yourself. That's what the body's made for. That's how God made
You
us.
have a 98% chance of surviving coronavirus if you get it. You have a 98% chance of surviving. They have 3 vaccines: the Moderna, Johnson Johnson, and the Pfizer.
Yeah.
I don't know who would take the Johnson and Johnson because
That's only
And
one
they had
shot.
the talcum,
The
the
Johnson
talcum
Johnson's
powder.
one
and I've heard a lot of
Hey,
people say
y'all.
that after they took the shot, they was sick.
T-shirt.
On the Johnson and Johnson?
No, after they
I took the shot and I don't feel
You got
sick. Yeah.
My
Did you
thing,
take two? Did you
my
take your
thing
second
is,
one?
I haven't took my second dose
Okay,
yet.
they said after they told me after this. When I said after the second one, that's when people was feeling affected.
I just can't
took my first
fathom
one,
it.
but no.
I gotta see it to believe it. Maybe it's the Aquarius in me and I'm stubborn, but
And everybody I know that took
with
it. My
the
Uncle
flu-
Ben took it.
but with the flu, you have a symptom. I just couldn't bring myself to taking a vaccine for something that they don't even have a cure for, nor, you don't
It
even know
wasn't
if you have
FDA
it
approved initially.
at
either.
all.
It
And
wasn't
then,
FDA approved.
why do you have to have so many? And
Did you know that vaccines, they create them with milk, egg yolk? So that's why they ask, do you have egg allergies? Because that's what they use to cultivate the vaccine.
man, they are so messed up. The vaccines.
They use
If
it.
you don't want to vaccine your children, you can go to jail. But
What? You
if
can go
it-
to jail?
Yes, yes.
you
don't
can.
know that.
The
You can go to
schools,
jail.
They'll say it's neglect of a
But-
child.
How many black families do you know that can afford private schools for their children? Private schools, you don't
But
have
if
to
we
have vaccines.
created our own, private schools, knowing how some of us are and how we feel about this world that's trying to make us conform to things, we would just put our minds together and we would really build our community like the Jewish do, like the whites do, like the Indians, like the Chinese.
You just gotta just gravitate
And I looked at the
towards-
history of us, and we're warriors. Black people are warriors. African ancestry or islands from the Caribbean, wherever we came from, we're warriors.
What's your case?
Absolutely.
We fought in all of the wars, the serious wars. We was doing a lot of research last night on a lot of things, like war, the countries, all type of shit.
So, the topic was, because it was kind of interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts in a second. We about to start in a second. I don't know about it now, but
Yeah, we're about to start.
we about to start.
Are we starting?
Yeah, 'cause I have a-
guest that won't talk.
I had a
I
little,
Look, the guests gonna have to wait.
Or still
yeah,
yourself.
with the topic, I don't know, I just had a gym. Just to drop it, and I was gonna be quiet.
My glasses. My film glasses.
Guests gonna have to wait until the guests get when it open when the panels open up to the guests.
All right, next down. Repeat that again. You said stay
Putting these beats by. Beats
Do
by
you
who?
listen to like anybody on YouTube? Like, do you follow someone like what they talk about these platforms?
It just depends on the content. I do just read. And the stuff I look up on YouTube is now I've been looking up Bitcoin and just.
Oh look, we live. I see us visible.
Okay.
Technology is
What time we gonna be at the doctor tomorrow?
Yeah,
conversation.
look.
We're looking good.
This is
But-
really here because everybody at the table, including you.
But
See,
live though.
we
I was-
said when we started chat. Yep, your cousin. See,
You know how I am about my business.
she
You know I
tried
love
that.
him. I said it with a
See,
smile.
She said with a smile.
Yes, I did. I'm smiling with my eyes.
See, Sierra's.
Probably this though.
He said who?
Right.
I'm about to put you
Tell
on.
him to look on Facebook.
Gonna kick it off. Welcome back to another episode of the Roundup Podcast Show. Shout out to the production, OBI Production. This is episode 11. Bless our hearts. Real quick, everybody will go through, introduce themselves, represent who they are, where they from, all that good stuff. Their platform, if they do want to or not. But this is the time. Starting with CC.
Hey y'all, my name is CB Lynn, aka Duchess. I'm just here. My platform is just to spread love and the real. You know, I live every day like I got a purpose to serve and keep it moving. You can follow me on here because that's what y'all do anyway. I don't. I'm just feeling the vibe. That vibe didn't hit me, and I'm over here like, okay. Spring break done wore me out, so y'all like, I'm coming. I'm almost here.
So you feeling yourself without actually feeling yourself.
Yeah, it was in the league. It was
It looks good on you.
Yeah.
That's just the what is it? Bruce?
Yeah, but I like to freestyle,
Comedian.
poetry, make candles, talk shit.
It's your turn.
My bad, y'all. My big brother was on the phone. He be serious. He said he's gonna be on the callers too. He's gonna express himself about the topic. We want everybody to hear him.
So
My name is Tanti B. I'm sorry I'm dressed like this today. Fresh from work. Smell like French fries. I cook for Cattlemen's Association. Full-time mom. Rest in peace, DMX. That's about it. I'm tired, y'all. I'm sorry if I'm not tuned in today.
that's it?
Oh,
That's your introduction?
I do her, and I done introduced myself a couple times.
So if you want to, you can send me some money. Look,
Right,
my
look.
cash app is.
Cash out me, Oris 18. I take dollars. I ain't petty. They add up. I got kids. What do you mean? No. I'm a little tired, y'all. I'm sorry, but yeah, I do her
Yeah,
when I
she
got
did
free
just get
time.
off work, so bless her heart.
Yes, I've been at work early this morning. Tournaments all weekend. Shouts out to the girls who did their thing out there.
I'm feeling heat.
They had the Nationals. Louisville was playing. Shouts out Louisville girls. Other than that, I'm tired, y'all. I'm sorry.
We go wake you up in a second.
Okay.
All right. Now we gonna get to Nessie. Vanessa.
Vanessa. I am a mother, a child of God. I am also a business owner. I have a cleaning company called Touch of Love. And I'm in a very opinionated, strong woman.
That was beautifully said.
You said that was beautifully said.
Beautifully said. Wonderfully spoken.
So that's it.
No.
You ain't gonna represent your
I need another Sprite.
platforms. Or
Oh yes, I do have a YouTube channel. It's called Melanated Television, and it's just a platform where I talk about issues within our community, issues within the world, politics, real things. And I have a Facebook, and that's where I express what's on my mind. And that's my Facebook is Vanessa XIX.
And she's tagged.
You know I be
Tagged.
what's
So,
the X?
yeah.
What's the XIX?
It was just because I
thought
wanted
it
to
was
do Vanessa X. You know how we our last
But what
name
does
are
it
our
mean?
Slave masters. It's a very it's the unknown. So that's what Malcolm X.
When when I first see you changed it, I was like, what, she trying to be a vixen? What is this?
No,
like,
not at all.
What is X?
I'm defining who I am. That's all that is.
And it's respect.
I changed my whole name one time.
My name's
And
already
it showed up in
different.
my Facebook memory, and I was like, oh, well. Yeah.
But I guess it's my turn, huh? OBI in the building. Shout out to me. Oh, my laughter. There we go. Come on now. Shout out to OBI. Another episode, you know. And to introduce the Roundup Podcast Show is basically a platform, a podcast show where individuals can express who they are, express their ideas, express their opinions. You know, your opinion matter. So everybody has a right. Nobody's wrong on this show, unless you're wrong.
Right.
You feel me? You know, but outside of that, you know, we welcome all that's viewing now, view later. You know, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Facebook channel and also YouTube channel, OBI Production, YouTube. We also live on Instagram. That's OBI Production.ent for entertainment. We on our way.
That's right.
Shout out. You know, we can get one more in. Shout out to the platform. But anyway, we're going to start off with the COVID updates. You know, let's break it down collectively. We need some help, y'all. What we got going
Well,
on?
COVID is still around.
Yes, COVID is still around. It's let's see here. So worldwide, there has been 136 million COVID cases. There has been 2 million deaths, and 109 million people have recovered. Currently, there are 23 million cases of COVID, and there are 102,000 people who are in serious or critical condition.
It's a lot of
I
people.
have a question. Would you all get, if it was like 5 vaccines that you had to get for COVID, and they said, oh, we'll give you $2,200 to get all 5, would you?
Did you get the first one?
Can't compromise our soul.
I did not.
Compromise
No.
our soul.
I just,
I did.
I never
got it.
understood getting a
So,
shot for something without a
so
cure.
you gonna save the rest of us. As long as you vaccinated, you go set off the antibodies to save us.
I thought the vaccine didn't, you still could get it.
You can't. People have gotten it after they. Yes.
Once you get the vaccine, you consider tested positive for COVID.
Testing positive. Yes, the vaccine only helps prevent it, but it's not. It's like a
That is
97%
called
chance
the
that
mark.
it's prevent it for you. And it's 3 vaccines: the Johnson and Johnson, the Moderna, the Pfizer. I think is how you pronounce
You
it.
sound like a Trump supporter.
Do it.
I mean, you repeating Trump, quoting Trump.
I'm not quoting him. These are statistics. These are
Right.
facts. These are things people need to know.
That's what Trump put together.
So, black people,
the Johnson deal.
COVID's probably
COVID's
that's
going
the
on.
Probably
generic.
it is.
That's the generic.
And what's the other one?
It's Pfizer and Moderna.
He did a Moderna too.
I mean,
Well,
I'm just
not
saying,
a
it's-
supporter, but this is just what these are the companies.
So
that
when
are
you break
producing
down the
these.
facts, supporter or not, the facts are the facts.
and the facts are, black folk, just eat healthy, eat your vegetables, drink your
Right.
water, and pray.
And what it
Say
say?
prayer.
Do the hand
Vitamin D,
sanitizing.
get
Yes.
in the
And
sun.
wash your hand.
What did you
Yes,
say?
get in
Walk
the hand.
grass.
Vitamin D.
Yes, ground
That would be
yourself.
sun and milk. Iron. Need a good balance
Ground
of your iron.
yourself.
Vitamin C.
Meditate.
Meditate. Yeah, stress. Stress is part of it too. Yes. She
Absolutely.
said,
Balance your body.
relax.
Your health.
relax, breathe, meditate. Woosah. It is going to be all right.
Find
We all
your
are going to
niche.
get sick. All right? It is okay. Some of us will die off if your immune system is not.
It's the cycle of life.
It's the cycle of life.
The only thing guaranteed is
It's in Ephesians that 1,000 may die in front of you. You're supposed to look away as if you didn't see it. Because if it has anything to do with you, you will be one part of them thousands that died off. Focus on you in your life, individually or family, if that's your position. Does that make sense, y'all? I'm trying to vibe with the music. You know, you gotta talk soft when you playing the jazz. Late night beat. I see you over writing CC.
Yep, you know it. You ready? I mean, 'cause you know me.
But the headline today is quote, keeping it real, unquote, or quote, selling your soul, unquote. Alright. And the reason for this discussion, the topic today, is reflecting from a fellow legend, icon, mogul, man, leader, king, preacher. I mean, he's all around. We're gonna give a moment of silence though for the passing of DMX. Give a moment for it. Bless his heart, bless his family, you know, those that. And let's see, the selling your soul portion of the topic is kind of reflected from DMX and his whole journey and experience, reflecting on his life and tribulations in the industry, you know, issues. You know, he put in his music, told us a long time ago, you know, he sold his soul, no matter if it was true or not. I mean, or if it was basically just for music, but it's on wax. So this whole journey that DMX went through, I feel like a lot of things is hard to understand if you don't personally know people, you know, media and whether it's the news or social media, they got their ways to, you know, change things to make it interesting, you know, stretch the truth or the lie. So we personally don't really know exactly what's going on with DMX, you know, or, you know, him and his family. Then what presented to us, before I open up the floor to y'all, the recent video I saw of DMX, it was like, I think it was a sister or his auntie that was showing him in moments, and DMX didn't look like he was on drugs, and this was within this year. I know that he didn't look like he was on drugs to me. He looked cleaner than what I ever seen him. He looked like healthy, and it's like, let's see. I don't agree with how random people just coming out with these lives and Instagrams and everybody just ran. I'm a cousin, yeah, my mama. It's just like, we ain't seen you in years, but everybody seems to have no problem with making a name off people's death. You know, I'm gonna connect my reach with Breonna Taylor here in a minute, but we on DMX right now. People have no problem with making their names off death, and if that's really true, and that image that presented to DMX is clean, and if industry-wise, and we care and love him, that overdose story should have never got out. I seen all these different stories through where he died, he's alive, he's over, and the one that caught my attention is the fact that there's one guy, he broke down that DMX just naturally had a heart attack. It wasn't no overdose. And if it's like, if that's true, like, or even if it's not, why we can't protect our image as black people or what, or people or whatever, like, that is like, it Russ overdose, so everybody sold that and made whatever, you know, they felt off of it. But DMX, you know, he don't want nobody to feel sorry for him coming from him. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah, everybody seemed to.
Have enough sorrow.
How y'all feel about that?
So, when I first seen that the subject was, you know, was it keeping it real or selling your soul, I'm just like, okay. But I'm like, okay, there's two types of people. There's those keep it real and those that sell out. But then I'm like, you know, you have to have like the rappers, the music industry. Everything is there's good and there's evil. And you know, we always used to wonder what happened to the one-hit wonders.
They made their bag and went to another
Oh,
song.
right, because maybe they had a upbringing in the church. Maybe they were raised different. You get what I'm saying? And people that didn't have that money, because like I was talking to, I don't know who I was talking to you the other day, and I was like, I'm pretty sure if one of our male role models or someone in our family had a choice to do that, to protect the family and create generational wealth, they would do that. You know what I'm saying? So it, you know, I got to thinking like,
I think you can play your role though until you get to a place where you can really, you know, you can do what you got to do. But when you get to a place where you can take care of your family, you take control of your destiny.
You can also
That's the thing.
general wealth, but some people don't want to feel sorry for them. They have a pride issue where they don't want to know or to feel what they want to do. I know a lot of people like that, where they do good at, where they feel comfortable with telling that close sibling or that close cousin, but it's not nothing that they just express themselves about. And it's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing in a common sense, but at the same time,
but I feel like, but ultimately, like in the
you have to want it.
I'm talking
You have
about
to want
DMX.
that positivity.
like in the music industry, I feel like if it's in you, it's in you, and you always find your way back. And from a lot of the videos that I saw, DMX, he knew who he was, and they, of course, they're gonna, it was a drug overdose. What famous black person?
You know, that
didn't
story
make
was
that?
out. That story was out and running before people that was close to him knew. So I was watching people's lives and people was commenting. And I'm like, damn, Max. I'm like, is this real? Like, is this a joke? And I tried to look it up and it wasn't nowhere. So this story was ran before like close friends even knew, and people wasn't accepting it. It was like Kobe, incident, I guess. But
I don't know why these people was speaking, like saying he was dead before he was dead. But just to say that this person, to be the first person to get that news.
that's what everybody race for. You
And
won't
then,
be the.
of course, that plays on people's emotions, you know, when you talk about DMX and what he meant to.
I almost cried.
A lot of this stuff is means for people to market themselves. They use these celebrities' deaths and a lot of things to market themselves in their platform. Because if you really respected, you know, these artists, this would be your life. Your pages or whatever you talk about would reflect.
Why would you die? Individual die, all of a sudden I remember this and I remember that. Man, that man been crying out for help his whole career. And
Yeah, I always
everybody's
thought it was good.
And a lot of people don't realize.
Yeah,
I had-
respect that album.
I have
He
a
just felt
relative.
like he had a dark shadow over him.
I had
feel
a-
like.
I had
Nah,
a
he
relative.
He didn't feel like he
No,
he
no,
knew
he did have one.
because he
said
knew
it,
from
he
He
had
had a
a
lot
lot
of,
Listen.
he had a lot of
His
burdens, for
wife
sure.
even said that he had.
When you
like,
dealing
he
with
used to sleep at
addiction,
night and she could
when you
tell him he
dealing-
was fighting.
When you're
But he
dealing with
needs
when you're dealing with
awful.
addiction, a person that is not, it's not them. I had a relative who was basically somebody totally different when he had it. You know, when he was off, whatever he was off of, it was all in his face. You know, you open up your soul, you open it up. But so it's a sickness,
You
and
think it's
it's so many
disease?
people. Addiction,
Yes.
yes, it's hereditary. It's genetic, and I feel
addiction
like
is
if you don't
genetic.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I don't think
That's why they ask
I don't
learn
agree with
from
to
it.
say it's genetic.
No, it is. That's why they ask.
It's
your
more-
medical
it's
history.
more
like
of-
high blood pressure,
Yeah.
alcoholism. If you're
Okay, high blood pressure can be genetic,
not something you
but
choose,
an
though.
addiction you pick that up as a child if that's what you see
But if
growing
I'm
up.
pregnant and I pop, if I'm drinking while I'm pregnant, it's in my baby's system, right? Okay.
Okay.
And so
yeah.
then it's gonna lead to what? You know what I'm saying?
That
Like,
baby be a crack baby.
That's why they ask your medical history. Because
No,
a
it
lot
leads
of
the
that's-
baby being now
Depending
mature.
on this-
What's the word?
the
Now
baby.
nourishment. Come on, y'all help me
No.
out.
Babies
The baby
Malnourishment.
addicted to drugs is already a drug addict when
Because
it's born because it was being given this.
it's hereditary.
It was getting high in its
I
mama's
know.
belly.
I
so
personally know a lot of people that was of that situation. They don't do drugs.
Doesn't mean that they will do drugs, but this baby, they obviously they've noticed that when you do drugs, there is an effect on your fetus, your children.
Right. Malnutrition. Man, I'm getting there. Malnutrition. Y'all help me out. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Man.
Malnutrition. Malnourished.
Malnourished.
What's these other
But the baby could
Side
grow.
effects.
Malnutrition
Low
is lack of
Jaundice,
food.
maybe liver
So
conditions,
smoking cigarettes give you Down syndrome and all that random stuff,
I
right?
don't know about Down syndrome, but it does
It can give
low
you
birth weight.
It depends on what type of drug it is. You gotta think there's
Respiratory
different types
problems
of
in the
But they
drugs.
give you drugs.
And they do give you
Too much of
drugs.
anything
Right.
isn't good. My son
Right.
was born with jaundice because they told me to keep taking Tylenol. And jaundice is like your liver. Tylenol affects your liver, and he had it.
All the pills affect your liver.
Something.
You can overdose and you can really harm your liver if you take too many of these man-made pain pills, painkillers.
They said one guy said it was interesting about DMX that he and this is like when he said it, it was like okay, because it's about cars, and I knew DMX had a lot of cars. He loved cars, but it's more of older cars. And when the individual broke it down, he said you never saw DMX in a Lamborghini or a Benz or a Bentley or a Jury, and it's like, right, you right. So when he said cars, I'm like, oh, but you gotta think about it. Like you don't really see him flossing like that. So what is is there a way to separate the difference of keeping it real or selling your soul? Is keeping it real selling your soul, or is selling your soul keeping it real, or is there a difference?
There's a difference because everyone's definition of real is different. Everyone's perspective is different. Everyone's definition of loyalty is different.
But I think real is real. Real is
The truth.
So let's break down. So the DMX, for example, him keeping it real is being honest
And
of
speaking
his
truth.
sin that he accepted, which
Absolutely.
is selling his soul. So that's why it's like it goes
he's
together.
confessing out loud of everything that I think all his songs was a glimpse of his life and what he went through from childhood all the way up to his passing. Like if you listen to a lot of his songs, and like even with him being a dog lover, like even with him transforming over from just being DMX to Rough Riders. Like when he was DMX, you really didn't see females around him. He was grimy, he was a dog. But then he transitioned over and he I think Switch Beats or somebody connected with, and that's when he kind of.
Man, what's that name?
I know Switch Beats was one of his main pushes.
No, it wasn't the main. He wasn't the main. It was
They got a lot of music together.
they got a CEO of Rough Riders. It's I can't think of their name.
When
But
Rough Riders came, that's when they more so had a collaboration with the females and a respect thing.
But that production of Rough Riders, like what we doing, like we a production for say, but it was the production that focused on that brain, like they pulled out Swiss Beats with DMX.
He was changing himself into
Yep,
another.
there you go.
Started Rough Riders, signed DMX.
And there's another one. He's co-founder. It's a light-skinned dude with a big nose. It ain't. It sound like it's what it is. But they the ones that went through everything his whole life, and it's crazy how you know that he had a problem. That's why I say he had a problem. I think and it's like it's this whole industry's Illuminati sacrifice. I'm about to make my reach to that. I think that DMX personally didn't die. But Earl Simmons didn't die. They killed off DMX, and it's like it's just the point of him. Like he done did everything he probably agreed to do, and it's like I'm ready to relax. No, ain't no clone if he's dead.
He had a persona. DMX was the
If you
entertainer.
say
Earl
it right.
Simmons was the real person.
All right, so DMX died, and now we got the real. He's able to live free and in peace.
Because to mirror wore a dress.
Who
Y'all
is
don't,
Kid Cudi?
Oh,
he got that song.
I see that when you posted.
Day and night. But okay, we got to
What did you do that performance in
But
that dress?
he did a performance on SNL in a dress, and I didn't understand it. So when I
He
looked
sold
it up,
out.
I didn't
it was
understand
to
when you
pay
showed it.
homage to Kurt Cobain.
He probably
was
sold out
also
too.
An artist who was a drug addict who killed himself.
Don't
He
y'all
shot
notice?
himself in the head.
Don't y'all notice?
Black
that?
Rob is down too.
A lot of people, those
Black Rob.
mainstream.
I think that's the
But
dude
I'm
that did
just
Whoa.
seeing the correlation between
You know that song
drugs,
Whoa. That
the
sound is in like
mainstream,
Whoa.
Yeah,
and
from
people
crime.
not being able
He
to
used to be
handle
with
that.
Method Man. Redman.
Because this man
It's a
obviously
whole
had no
nother world.
control over his body. He had a lot of
Sell
children.
out. You can't-
He had no
yeah.
control over things. He needed help. But
Like,
you know,
even
who
basketball
helped people
players
so
to a
much?
sense. I mean, yes, we love basketball or whatever and the sports, but when they out of season, they better not be caught on the field, or you get what I'm saying? It's like they control your life, and a lot of
They
people
do.
can't handle
What
it.
you
And that's
say,
why
your political views to an extent.
But don't you know that before you walk into that field? Like, I mean, even
Well,
that,
when they
I don't
sign them
think they know.
contracts,
I
they
don't
Right.
think, yeah.
A
They-
lot of
they
people
have
get
lawyers who read
blindsided.
fine print.
so
Look
that's
at
what I'm
the amount of
saying.
money.
Like DMX knew. It's like he was sitting in prison. He did that interview, and they asked him, "Why you in here? You are the man." And he didn't really regret the fact that he was in that position. It's like he knows everything that happens to him is for a specific reason.
He humbled himself.
As well as
for
it
that
is with
position.
everybody else.
He humbled himself even more for that position.
Everyone
He
can
came out
change.
Right, and we right. Everyone can change. It's
Right.
possible, but you gotta want it. You gotta push for it within yourself. You can't expect for just you to walk through the doors and be like, "Oh, okay," because you this and that. You gonna push or you gonna do this for me. You got the best for me. You gotta want the best for yourself as well.
Right, and that's what DMX said. And man, come on, Vanessa, let's go into this Bible verse. 'Cause that's going to right and his message and everything.
So was this before, like previously before his death?
He did this in 2020. April.
2020.
Mhm.
Okay. So he was sharing some wisdom. This was a man who loved the Lord, and he fought for that because that's really, in my belief, the only thing that can save you is a strong relationship with your Creator. So although this person was dealing with darkness, the fruits of his labor that he left people was to be inspired and to love and to be a good person. So, do you want to read? You want me to read it?
You want me to read? I can read.
I'll read it. I'm for everything. And a season for every activity under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to scatter stones and a time to gather them. A time to embrace and a time to refrain. A time to search and a time to give up. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear and a time to mend. A time to be silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace.
Amen.
Yes, that's
Can
really
I?
where
Can
he. Please, let's hear it.
Death is around us. One of the quotes I hate the most is YOLO. You only live once, because that's a lie. You live every day. You only die once, because once you're dead, it's over. So when it comes,
we ain't met nobody that died and came back and said this is it. But
There are
Exactly.
people who
So
died
you
and came
died
back to
once.
life. People
You only
who
live
died
once.
and they've been resuscitated back
each
to life.
day, but yes,
right, so that's true in that order. People have died and came back to life. True,
right,
but
that's,
but
hear me out.
I'm gonna let you finish first.
Please just hear me out. You know, I say all that to say, I mean, damn, you done threw me out.
I'm sorry.
Just speak your truth. You know, speak your truth. I'm sure everyone that sold out, however, they had a reason at that time, and I guess that's one of the good things about God. it's because like the prodigal son, he opens his arms up to us. He never leaves us. We stray away from him. Um, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You know what I'm saying? It's like you live by the gun, you die by the gun. But as long as you live your truth, I think that you'll be alright. Like it's always hard. Everybody's not gonna accept it, but
That's another thing DMX said, and that when he read that, everybody, and this is one of the things I'll be against when people be so quick to say, "I'll pray for you." No, I'm good. Just pray for yourself. And one of the things DMX mentioned is people be better off praying for themselves than expecting, prayer from others, or vice versa, because we don't know individually. We don't know what's going on when a person may say that. When a person say that, it doesn't sound genuine. I mean, I'm gonna pray for that. Sounds smart, Alex. That don't sound like no genuine prayer for me. And then if you're praying for me, that's in silence necessarily. You don't have to tell me that. So
you have to know how to discern when it's genuine. Because I'm a praying woman and I pray for people. But I also get what you're saying because I don't want people praying for me.
Yeah, you don't know. They putting a curse on you or nothing.
Yeah, like you don't even know what they, or one of them people. What was a meme on Facebook? It said black people's prayer is I'm praying for you. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, that is terrible.
I don't think I'm in a position to judge anybody's prayer. Like, I don't know to say who's right or wrong.
It says in the Bible the right way to pray.
Right.
It says people
what is
pray
that?
and don't know what they talking about. They say the same things over and
You'll
over.
feel it.
It says you go into a room in a closed door and you say, "Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done."
But that's quoting words from the Bible.
If a prayer doesn't resonate with your spirit, you won't feel it. If it does, you will.
Now, yes, you want to speak good. You want to bless people. Praying for them and speaking good for them is like sending blessings towards them. But to me, I can't define that for everybody else. That's just what that is to me.
Is it possible that before we got to this point that a collective few of our ancestors could have, like, what they sold their souls, they sold their seeds off like within it? So it's like we in this point of life and a lot of us feel like targets of why life is so hard. And it's like maybe that's part of it. If individually we all got an identity that reflects from our social security number, and within that number they know exactly what seed who you are, so it's like when you get pulled over,
it's a business.
And some of us have these easier situations when you get put up on the police specifically, and some of us have these easier situations than others. I'm thinking, well, my reach is a lot of that is reflecting to this moment. Whatever our ancestors did is a reflection to our position now, and our position now is going to be a reflection to our future for our kids.
I don't agree with that because, like, you have the Willie Lynch letter. All the founding fathers of America, they, even what was her name, Sarah, the woman who they, yes. I don't think they wanted to do that. You know, so I get like
Or sleep with the same person.
right, exactly. Like, how is it that we can't drink out of y'all water fountain, but y'all want us to breastfeed y'all children? Yes. Now, the fact that they didn't come together, like Steve, like he's saying, like they didn't do anything to change it. Because to be 100, y'all remember when Kanye said slavery was a choice? I'm not even gonna stunt. I understood what he was saying, like I did, because he started talking about how they wanted to mess with his mind, and then, but that's neither nor there. But I get what he's saying. Like they could have kept on and pressed on, but
every attempt that they tried, white America destroyed it.
Right.
The Black Panther Party, Nat Turner, when he revolted, they killed him. Now Harriet Tubman, she freed a lot, but she didn't.
I feel like she was
didn't
working.
liberate us all.
I feel like she was working with them because they only tell us so much. They didn't tell us Beethoven was black.
Underground Railroad. There were white people who was allowing slaves to stay in their.
Do y'all know when?
There was white people that, like the Black Lives
off the
Matters
tongue.
people. That was
Whatever
from
you're
them back in
looking
them
for.
days. That's what I was
Your
saying.
best shopping starts with
Do y'all know? Do y'all
White
know?
people who be down there helping with,
Do anybody
the
know
cause.
when media actually like started? Because I know as far as TV when it was first made up or whatever, created,
Articles been around
it was in actually color. You know, like they say black is first, so TV was actually invented in color first, but technology wasn't advanced enough to move all the pictures and color blocks around. So they put everything in the pixels. So they put everything in black and white to it's supposed to be it's supposed to be easier, to see. So that's also can be an allegory or a symbolic statement, subliminal statement to our reality. They put everything in black and white to make it easier. If blacks was here first, because color TV was first. Like everything is in this information that's truth if we read it the right way instead of accepting the interpretation from others, like either a pastor or whatever. Like it's meant for you to read the Bible yourself. And
They put it in black and white because the white man knew that they were inferior to us. They knew that we were
blacks
gods.
was first, then no white man did
They were
this.
so angry. Google that they turned the map upside downwards because they didn't want America to be under Africa. Like, look it up. So it's like we didn't instill that in us.
Instill what?
But we're going through.
No, we
You know
didn't.
what I'm saying?
Okay, so you said about our ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
Did our ancestors, okay, did they really have control of being millions of us on slave ships?
Our original ancestors originally controlled the land of America. The natives really
And
had
y'all remember
ownership.
how they gave the
Not their
Indians
nature, it's not their
blankets
habitat.
with smallpox and
They
shit?
got to deal with the cold, the heat. Slaves don't deal with certain conditions.
These people crazy. Oh, come on, and when they brought those blankets with them Indians, man, they are
I
manipulated.
didn't say I'm getting it. You right. You done went back to
The Willie
middle
Lynch,
school.
everything.
Right, she said
Nah,
the
I feel
smallpox.
what they said.
I heard him. I'm
They
like,
brought disease over to
you
us.
just went.
They brought disease. When they, the white people, yes, they brought a lot of disease.
Don't say the white people, say the Europeans, because we don't know. Because look, we supposed to be understanding that our history has been whitewashed. And if it originated,
That's why I don't.
for something to be whitewashed, it has to have an origination, for something. So that's why I say if originally the natives, the aberration people, the blacks was first, then we can't necessarily keep blaming whites if we doing this to ourselves, and through generation we keep continually doing this to ourselves.
I would say they're the root of the problem, but now that we have so much knowledge, now that we know so much, and
You ever seen
we've had so
Concrete
many examples.
Cowboy? You seem like somebody that's seen that movie, Concrete Cowboy. It's a YouTube movie.
I saw Cocaine Cowboy.
No, it's deeper than that. It's
American X.
everybody should watch this movie. It's called Concrete Cowboy, and within the movie, it's in Detroit, and they was and I didn't even know it. And I'm like, dang, I think they do. They have like these horses and whatever these saddle, but through the it's like one of them Boys in the Hood type stories where the mother dropped the son off and lived with the father, and now he's doing all this Concrete Cowboy. But through the movie, they explain how our original history was either taken from us or wasn't told, because either it's like you only getting one piece of the one side of the story of this whole world.
You get a lie.
Right.
You don't even get a side of it.
Right, but you only get that.
You get what people put together.
They
amongst
had
each other,
everything
they
that we got to look for, but they sure did have the Bible.
So cowboys, right? It wasn't no slaves, really, no conversation in Western cowboys movie, and that was before this whatever is aggression to be white and slaves. That's why it's like to understand when you sell out, right? Because before this understanding of this crossing from segregation to integration, we all was forced to want to be like the whites or whatever. So if it's a fancy car, jewelry,
Whitening our skin.
right, the American dream is basically, so you can say it's white, but it's just the American dream. You have
The American dream is to be white.
No, it's not. You have a certain freedom over here than you don't have in any other country in the world, and they have a government or whatever that's built to protect the citizens of America in our positions that we. So it don't matter who you are. You a Muslim, Christian. Okay, any other country, a Muslim and a Christian would not sit next to each other, but you can in America. And that's what the point of America is. If you go outside of America and you claim to be a Christian, you might get killed, come up missing. You protected in America, and just
Ultimately,
ideal conversation.
Ultimately, America has shown me that they are not for me. So I just have to be.
No, you have to be for you. You
Yes,
have to worry
I'ma be
about
for
you.
me,
Separate yourself
and
from this worldly view.
That's
Look
why
at
the
your life and the choices.
I'm not living in fear. I'm not living in fear.
So yes, there are people who oppress others, and America has oppressed minorities.
And who are minorities?
Everyone.
Everybody that's not white, but I was
What if
black.
what if whites was actually the minority? What if the white people are actually the minorities?
They are.
They use minority as skin
But they
color,
wanted
not
to
really
make it
as
like
the amount.
No, they use minority as a term that
As a tag,
the
like
average
they use
person may
fear.
not understand through the rhetoric that the person presents it in that moment. So you hear minority and it's like we supposed to say they talking about black
America
people.
has oppressed black
But
people.
no, they just say
They oppress
minority.
black people.
Okay, we just so minority is we accepted to be black people. Okay, but in our reality, minority is actually
America was
white people
built for
because
us to
this
feel-
this
I'm
is a
very
mix
with
of
them.
this is a mix of blacks, Mexicans, Asians, Africans, right? Now all these mixture of people, you saying that the whites is more populated than all of that?
I'm just saying, white people has oppressed black.
No, they didn't.
Americans.
Black
They
people
lied
oppress
about
black people.
everything.
White people
No,
didn't oppress
they
black
are.
people.
we did not.
The-
We did
We
not.
gonna keep it real. You gonna
So
sell
I
your
read a
soul.
book- no, because it's like maybe 2% black people who actually were able
All
to
right,
have
so
economic
Breonna
freedom.
Taylor, right? The person that could have made the decision to change everything was a black man, not a white man.
But Breonna Taylor?
Yeah,
Who?
General what?
Oh, yep, David Cameron.
And then nobody know that there was a black man to that situation. And there's another thing. George Floyd, his trial is just now, right? Why was it a big rush for Breonna Taylor's trial to, to happen in that, or when it takes time for
You are
like, a
asking
certain trial?
questions that need to be
As long
asked
as
to the
we'll
crooked
reach-
system.
I
Let's
was
talk
gonna
about
reach to
why.
Breonna
What
Taylor.
can we do to stick
Nah,
together? Because we can't control.
we got a part of that. We emotionally got attached
We
to that
don't-
movement
we
and the
didn't get a part-
protesting.
We didn't get a part
We
of
fell a
getting
part of that.
Charged with the bullets instead of her death. We did not get. That is what's.
I'm
that
talking
is
about the
proven.
movement. So if it wasn't for George Floyd, you wouldn't even heard
If
about
there was a
Breonna
black
Taylor.
man in position and he had
If
the
it wasn't for George
choice-
Floyd, none of us would be talking about Breonna Taylor. Because we got killings every day. I got relatives that done died in whatever dramatic ways with blacks or police. I done been personally situations with blacks and police. But I
media-
survived. The
media,
idea
the government,
is to
the
survive.
propaganda, as long as they keep us in fear, they fear the masses. They built this pandemic. They seen how they had everybody move. They keep them in fear.
Right, that's the game.
They turn
right.
everybody against each other because what does it say? United we stand.
The
together,
Bible
we
speak
God.
about fear too.
You know
What
but
did the Bible say
ultimately,
about
like,
fear?
It's not of God.
So why do we accept fear? Fear is an emotion
I
that you
don't
can
accept
accept or
it
not.
because you have to unlearn. You have to unlearn everything you was taught. Honestly,
It's a mind thing.
And that's the purpose of the shows and this platform. Real people discussion, real everyday issues that everybody seemed to be scared to have a discussion about, or even if you're too emotional to have a discussion about it, or your situation, it's too out of place, so you make it too personal. But it's really something that's in our face every day, and through time we ignored it until we're forced to deal with it right now. Like, is it easier to just save yourself than to save the world?
when you save yourself, you are saving the world, because every person you interact with, you spread that love, and you may drop a gem and make a difference. Change starts with yourself, because if you focus on two rabbits, you're gonna lose them both. But you have to change within you, because people will see that light, and I'm a witness to that. Like, I've burnt every bridge. I've burnt bridges my whole 20s. And then I quit talking about the change and just started actually hard.
Just change, yeah.
And people see it, and now, you know what I'm saying?
Actions speak louder than words. We supposed to be the light in the dark.
So it's the problem that a lot of us don't really believe in ourselves to keep on fighting because change is always hard and uncomfortable.
Like you said, a lot of us
And
wasn't
where we're dealing with contentment.
You know the truth in
grown
that.
up with
If you
people
don't,
speaking love in us,
if you don't
loving
believe in
us
your,
the right way,
Right.
being the right example.
if you don't believe in yourself, you don't believe in God. If you don't love the Son, there's no way you can love the Father.
But the only way you can love them is if you know them. And so we got to be the ones.
But
Educate.
knowing Him is knowing yourself. That's why I say if you don't love yourself, then you don't love God.
Knowing Him helps you know yourself.
No, the search and reach for Him is to search within yourself. That is quoting from Jesus. That is your journey. That is what Jesus, the kingdom of God, heaven is within. It's
His
not.
love is what teaches
No,
us how to love
this is the
ourselves.
Bible. Now you can interpret that. And that's why.
Yeah.
Now that's what he's interpreting.
The
this from.
Bible, we can't.
The Bible say Jesus said that the kingdom is within. To reach and search for God is to search within. So if you go and preach to somebody, you don't give them your opinion or your person or whatever. You direct them to search within, and within that process and their personal experience, God
you do give
will
a
show
personal
them.
opinion. You do give a testimony because
Testimony is not a personal
How to understand
opinion.
How to handle what you just told me.
a testimony is an opinion because it's
But
how you
that's,
view
but
it
that's,
and
but
what
that's
you went
on
through.
the individual in that series. They want to seek God. Seek God is not in that man. It's within you. And it is within you reading this. Nine times out of 10, we not reading this. That's the problem. Everybody is going off how they feel is what's to be right. That's the whole purpose of why I pulled this out and we read that.
You have to realize that a lot of people in our community do not believe in this. They believe this is what the white man gave us. Like, not too many of us really
The
have
truth
faith
is
in
in
this.
all the books, though. The truth is in the Torah. The truth is in the Quran, and the truth is in the Bible.
The Bible is older than the Quran.
But the truth is the truth. The truth is still
Right,
going
it's the
on
truth.
today. The truth is in
The
each
same
of the
truth
Bibles.
is in the Bible. It's the
But
same
the
truth
Bible-
in the Quran. So
Yes.
why put the Bible and the Quran against each other when they saying the
No,
same thing?
I'm not putting nothing against because I don't believe in religion. I believe in it's only one
Right, the
guy,
truth. Right.
You know,
There's only
everybody's path
one
is
morally
different.
way.
But there's about 40 different versions of the Bible now. You know what I'm saying?
Translation.
So ultimately, there's a bigger agenda than what
It's only
we have
two
control
different
over.
versions.
interpret it
It's
both
only
ways.
two
You got
different.
The NIV, the
That's
King
only
James.
two.
The King James is like the
And the
first version.
international.
And then the New
International.
International version,
They have
right?
That's only two.
You go to the women's and they got
That's
this
only
one, and they
two.
got that one, and it's leaving
Yeah,
out
the
stuff.
text about-
But it's leaving out stuff. I'm talking like really when you start researching all this. But the
But
truth,
when you say when you express that and you say it's 40 different versions and you express that somebody that don't know,
You
they
don't.
go and accept the information as you said it. So this, if you go talk about the Bible or express the Bible, say what is, repeat or quote what it say, not your opinion, because as a
Revelation,
Christian,
give
it's
them
your
the
job
option.
to keep the word as written. You're not supposed to
No,
change what's
I'm
written.
not changing what's written. What I'm saying is,
But I'm not talking about you. But that's what our pastors. But that's what our pastors do.
Not
and
all
did.
of us
I grew
identify as
up-
a Christian or in the way that you believe. Not all of us believe in that way.
I just believe there's only one God. And
If you are-
whatever
if you are in-
believe,
if you are
as
in
long as you
America,
believe,
If you are
as
living
long
in
as you do
America,
right, and spread love and have faith.
if you are living in America is protected by the Christian religion or values or way of understanding of who God is. When you go to court, you swear on the Bible.
honestly
When
feel
you get
like
married,
That's
you get married under
Listen,
God. That's
no,
not. That's
America.
law.
America is not.
Bible
America is about
tells-
money.
some state.
America is about
let
money.
LGBT get
America
married.
is
How was
about
that
money.
Christian?
Ain't marriage?
But
Yes,
that's
of
not-
course you're supposed to be going
Dating
So-
black guys, how was that
But
Christian?
America.
That's established how weak Christians are. That's not saying that's Christian. Christians not doing that.
Power, manipulating, and controlling.
Because
All right, I'm gonna give you an example. Just real quick. It was a Christian that was against marrying a man and a man, and it was at the time of Obama's term. It was a white woman, and my opinion about that situation, they locked her up because. But look, they locked her up because she had an elective position, political position, that she had a say so to agree that man and woman, man and man, and woman and woman can get married in this state. She was against it. They locked her up, but nobody stood Nobody stood for it. Nobody spoke for it. Nobody said nothing. And then if you were a Christian, to me, that was a time for people to protest.
Man, I've had some bad experiences
Freedom
with
of
Christians.
religion, or freedom of
Which is the
expression.
Constitution.
Ultimately,
That makes it easy for us to walk as we walk right now.
But
Like
you
people may feel this against white supremacy. I don't believe in white
you can
supremacy.
talk about being a Christian, and you can talk about America.
All right.
Now, it's two different
You ask
things.
somebody they believe in God right
America
there,
is
say
all
no,
about
but that
money.
don't mean that
Your
God's
Social
not
Security
real.
number,
It's just
your
you
birth
believe in something
certificate,
means
that
you're
is a
praising it.
receipt on your life. Death certificate, that is a receipt on your life.
So when I say I don't
Marriage,
believe in white
you have to
supremacy, that means
sign
I
a
don't
marriage
accept it. I'm
certificate
not
because
praising.
You don't sign a contract with America. It's all about money. Why is it that if I have to get married, I have to pay my husband's child support? It's the kind man.
Well, why
America's
would
all
you?
about
Hold
money.
on. We going back. Why would you marry a man that has a child support? No, it's not no. You choose that situation. You can't blame the government for. You chose, but you know that because that's what it is when you join.
They can financially support a wife in a home.
If he's
Then
on
you
child
should be
support,
able to
they coming after that.
financially come to agreement to
That's income.
I understand what you said.
Right, I
but
mean,
the meaning
you-
of it is
Right. Once you put y'all two names on there, y'all social security number
you
down.
can financially support another woman in a home. No. Then you should be able to support.
She woke down. She woke down.
Period.
She woke down.
I just don't believe in child support. And
I
ain't
don't
dating
either.
no man
We
on child support.
we should all boycott
Pay your child support if you ain't paying.
Take that system.
Take care of your
down.
kid.
And make sure you choose the
Take
right
it away.
person.
We need some help out here. We got too
I'm
many
not
of us
paying
black
nobody
men out here
else's
trying
child
to do
support. I'm
things.
just
I'm
not.
We need
either.
more
I'm
men
not
out
either.
here.
Pay it. I stay away from me.
It don't matter if it's black or white. Take all men out child
That's a
support.
burden if you deal with a man who got a baby mama for
But
a
you
headache.
choose that. You don't
Right,
don't
that's what I'm
belittle that
saying. So
man
you have a
or
choice to
everybody
deal with
man
a
because
man
of the
who got a
situation that
wretched-
you choose to.
But
A
you
no
got
baby
some
mama,
girlfriends
you have
that
a
like
choice
to
to-
entertain, or you got some baby
Yeah,
mamas
they
that
wanna-
like to entertain their baby daddies.
and then they paying child
So
support.
it don't just be the
Right,
baby
but that's
daddies,
truth.
too.
We like the situations
Yeah.
that we in. 'Cause
Some
our
people
situation
like
is.
But then
those
you wake up and look at
It's
the
the truth.
reality of
Some
it,
people
and
like
it's
to be
silly.
dumb to the fact.
Y'all agree with this? Our situations is a reflection of who we are. The people
I
we
agree.
deal
I
with
agree.
is a reflection of who we
I
are.
do agree.
So that's why I say when you point fingers, what they say when you point, it's like 10.
Three back
whatever.
at you.
Nah,
Four
not
back
three.
at you. When you
It's
point
like-
one back, look, when
Man.
you point one, it's four fingers point back at you.
And
three
when
whatever.
and
I
when you
definitely heard
and when you put yourself in this judgment, you putting yourself to be a God or of God. So when you place when we put ourselves to be like, okay, we put ourselves in this supremacy thing. You can't put yourself out there without judging yourself. Now when you say
Make
that
sure
person
you
is
choose
wrong,
the point.
it's a mirror automatically come up. When you point at somebody and say they're wrong, it's a mirror that automatically pull up. And you
But
first say you
right is
first
right,
before you
wrong
say
is
that
wrong.
before you accept that person is wrong, you went through this whole breakdown on yourself. And in that moment, you change this and change that, and you're like, nah, I'm good. They still wrong. She still wrong.
But right is right and wrong is wrong.
System
A
is messed
judgment
up
is.
for sure, but that's not
The-
right.
we
That's
made
right.
the system,
Another
though.
man's baby. Who
We
made
didn't.
it?
We didn't.
People made nothing.
The
It's
colonizers
America.
made this
Listen,
system.
America
They
though.
wrote the
We
contract.
talk
you
about
have
America.
a whole
All the
history
bills,
that
they
But if it
you
wasn't
need
for
to
the
learn.
but if
tax
it
laws
wasn't,
on land.
it's the truth, right? We talking about truth. If it wasn't for the Constitution, we wouldn't be able to sit and do this that we doing now.
It's 820.
This is a mild
The
freedom.
Constitution.
You know what I'm saying? This is a political freedom, but they just took Trump off.
No
and they
word-
take, if you speak
no
too
word
much,
in
they
this-
will
in this
take
world
you off
you
of
can
these
do that.
platforms. They do Facebook, jail.
Nowhere in this world you can be free as we are.
Yes, you can.
Where?
Don't you know? In Africa, I have people
Africa.
men from Congo. Yes.
All right,
Why
you
you
know-
think they here? Because
Ghana.
why you
Hold
think they
on.
here? Because
You
when
said
they-
Africa.
yeah,
It
they
was
work
it was
very
just a
hard.
month
They
ago.
send their
No, it
money
was 2
home.
months ago
They send their
exactly.
money home 'cause when they
It
buy
was
their
a
house,
black-
they buy their land.
Listen,
when they come
this was
here,
just 2
we
months
got
ago.
car insurance, house insurance.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you
mortgage.
about Africa.
Nothing's free.
Real
You go
quick,
over,
and
you
it was
own your
just
property.
2 or 3 months ago in
You own
Africa,
your
right?
property.
It was a black American citizen in Africa that went over there with that American attitude, like whatever, rah rah rah. Let me finish. Let me finish. We seen the difference of how free you are in America and in Africa. That's what it has to do with it. So he went through this whole whatever, and the army of Africa shot him dead in the middle of the street in front of everybody who was a black American. You don't even hear it on the news. And the only reason why I know that because of certain people like J.T. Fenneman, everybody know that, because he's banned from America. He live in Africa. When you live in these countries, you have to abide by it. And it's not
Do you
no
understand that all the
in
countries
America, there's an
hate
in-between.
Americans? A lot of the countries hate Americans. Do you understand that?
Because we
And,
spoiled.
people that
We live freer
that-
than what they are in other countries.
believe that America is.
And if it wasn't for the Constitution, we wouldn't be
But I was talking,
moving as we
but when I
are.
was saying land of the free is like because I know it, like I met people, dealt with people who are African, and they can take 50,000 and they own their land. They don't pay mortgage. When they buy their car, they don't have to pay car insurance. It's like here, you never own anything.
But in these certain countries in Africa, it's seasonal. So any
But they
moment,
only show us
they can have a shift
they don't show
of
us that- they don't show us
leadership.
that Africa was the richest land. They only show us the poor.
You know,
That's why they killed Gaddafi.
you know, at one point in time, America, this side of the world was considered heaven to the rest of the world. So if Africa is the richest land, why was this side considered heaven to the rest of the world?
But Africa has a lot of resources. It has beautiful land. It has everything. They stripped Africa from everything. It's America's just mentality.
They didn't strip Africa from
Not
nothing.
the
All right,
resourcefulness
look,
of
the slaves that came from Africa weren't Africans. The slaves that came from Africa to America wasn't Africans.
If they came
African
from Africa,
ain't
then
lost
then what was
nothing.
that?
Until this day, America does not has no full right to infiltrate in Africa.
But they have. Well, not
No,
America.
they haven't.
The
No, they
colonizers
haven't.
have.
The
South
colonizers.
Africa, that has
That's
been
not
colonized
okay.
by colonizers.
That's two different conversations than what we
But
saying.
it's still white people.
Okay.
Dutch, English, the French.
So because of the Constitution is the reason why we free the way we are. That's true. Like that's
way?
the Constitution that was written.
They give us, they spoon feed us.
Okay,
They
so
give
what
us
do-
little
what
bit
does the
by bit by
Constitution-
bit, but they still killing
let's do it like
our,
this.
our daughters and our sons
All right.
out here in the street.
You
They
can make
still
it-
oppressing us.
but
They
look,
still making it hard for us.
That's an emotion. That's an
That's
expression.
not emotion. Those are statistics. That
All
is
right.
facts.
So okay, so facts, right? So what is in what specifically in the Constitution or what policy or law that specifically reaches to affect black people specifically?
None, because this whole system.
No,
was
you
done.
said none. You say none and because. So when you
it's
feel
not
like you're a
specific
target,
for blacks.
It's not.
It's
ha-
just,
the-
it's general. It's for every American citizen, and we, by default, are American
This system was not
citizens.
built for us.
but hold on. See, that's a contradiction. That's why I said when the Constitution was written and established, right?
How much real estate do we own in this country?
But that's reflected from our generational choices.
That
I'm gonna give you another
reflect-
example.
okay, go
It was a
ahead, go
guy.
ahead.
I went to
Sounds
high
good.
school. It was a house that was passed down through his grandparents. The house was paid for, or whatever. He's in high school, 17, own a house because it was passed down. Within 2 years, he sold the house. Within 2 years, he lost all the money and starting over. So if generational is passed, like you got wealth that's supposed to be passed down. Now we are. Our somebody somewhere down the line messed our like what was supposed to be passed down to us. Somebody
Google how much
messed it up.
generational wealth white people are born into.
But that's
Right.
You
Let's
know,
do-
But-
it's easier.
How
to
much
fuck-
stock do black
it's easier to mess up.
But just
money.
because white people is coming together and supporting their people,
Look at
that's
the
not.
gap between
They
generations.
destroyed our
And we
communities.
don't. We destroyed our own communities,
No, they did it, but I feel
and we
like
still
we
destroying
are,
our
we
own
have been
communities to
so
this day.
mentally-
We not being real.
Okay.
We still destroying our own communities.
I do agree.
Guys, we do. It is, like it's really just messed up ultimately because I really think.
Man,
I really think
I
if
keep getting
Black-
accused.
if Black Wall Street
People trying to leave, gotta go.
Oh yeah, I gotta definitely.
They gotta get their kids.
School's
You
tomorrow.
know,
Next week.
we will be back next week. We gonna switch it up, adjust it up. We got new shows coming out. Shout out to the team. Shout out to the babies. Everybody love your babies, man. Everybody take more pride and take care of your kids and take care of yourself.
And then just let me know what you
Be,
was on.
this is the time to be selfish. Don't care about the next. Take care of yourself and take care of your
Absolutely.
kids.
Yes.
And with that being said, this is another episode of OBI Production presents the Roundup Podcast Show. You know, thank you for watching. God bless you. Good. I messed up the rust line. Hold up. God bless you. Thank you for watching. Good night. That still didn't sound right. But anyway, we are out there. Please.
Everybody be
Tune in next week. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and smash
Facts.
that notification button so y'all can stay updated. Love everybody and love yourself. Peace.